From the red zone outside the Canadian Tire Centre to Sens miles to living rooms across Ottawa. Sens fans tonight hoping the home ice advantage will get them back into their playoff series against the Canes after back-to-back losses in Carolina. Good evening. Stefan was on assignment today. And playoff excitement has reached a fever pitch in the capital as the Ottawa Senators host the Carolina Hurricanes for Game 3 in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Before puck drop, the Sens organization officially welcomed the NHL playoffs to the capital with a ribbon-cutting ceremony in the CIBC Red Zone just outside the CTC. Mayor Mark Sutcliffe doing the honors alongside former Sens players Chris Phillips, Chris Neal, and Sens president Cyril Leader. And the Canadian Tire Centre completely sold out for Game 3. 17,753 fans were in attendance, and every seat had a rally towel. Claude Giroux and his family helped lay out the towels before the game. And the Sens down 2-0, desperate for a win. Although this game wasn't a must-win game for the club just yet, their chances at making it into the second round sitting at just 16% heading into tonight's game.
Got it in over the line. They got forced back out. It stays onside. Nick Cousins to the goal. Scores!
Nick Cousins evens the score at 1 late in the second, and the sellout crowd on its feet. But it didn't last too long. About a minute and a half later, the Canes go back up 2-1. And then with 2 minutes left in regulation, the Sens pull Linus Ullmark for the extra attacker. They had some great chances, but couldn't get the equalizer. Carolina wins 2-1 and now take a 3-0 lead in the series. The teams will suit up again at the CTC on Saturday for now a must-game win for Ottawa in Game 4. Puck drop is set for 3 o'clock. And it was an exciting night for sports fans in the capital. There was also a draft party for Ottawa football player Hakeem Mesidor, who is projected to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft.
With the 22nd pick in the 2026 NFL draft, the Los Angeles Chargers select Hakeem Mesidor, linebacker, Miami.
Mesidor is heading to the Los Angeles Chargers. They selected him 22nd overall. When the rising football star was first learning the game of football, he didn't see the NFL as a reality for his playing career, but says his outlook changed when he made the jump to play college ball south of the border. Our Jackie Perez spoke with Mesidor and his mother outside the Med Supper Club here in Ottawa before tonight's draft, and they spoke about nearly giving up on his football dreams.
He came home and he said, "Mommy, I'm done." And I'm like, "What do you mean you're done?" He's, "I'm done football." And I'm like, "Why? Why would you do that?" "Because we can't afford it." And I'm like, "No, we're gonna make it."
Mesidor spent 2 seasons with the West Virginia Mountaineers before transferring to the University of Miami, where he was a standout defensive lineman, helping propel the team to the college football playoff national championship game earlier this year. All right, we'll take our first check of what's happening weather-wise. We've got a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. We're sitting at 8 degrees here in the capital. Let's throw things over to Jackie for our first check on weather.
Well, we have mainly clear skies for overnight, maybe a little bit of cloud cover for the Kingston area, but for Ottawa, really parts of the valley, we are in for more clear skies and sunshine for tomorrow morning. This will carry on for most of our Friday, and again, no precipitation in sight for the next several days. Temperature-wise, yeah, it's going to be another double-digit day, but you want to bundle up in the morning. It's going to start off at the freezing mark. Daytime high is going to be about 12 degrees. Sunshine and clear skies will carry us into our Saturday. We'll get a closer look at your long-term forecast in just a bit.
Well, thank you, Jackie. There has been a positive development for residents living along the Ottawa River. Water levels are starting to recede. The water dropped 3 to 4 centimeters through Ottawa and Gatineau this morning, and that's the first drop in a week. The Ottawa River Regulation Planning Board says water levels are stabilizing 5 to 15 centimeters below peak levels in 2023. More than 500 properties, though, still remain at a risk of flooding in Gatineau. An update now to a story we first brought you yesterday. Police divers have found a body inside a submerged vehicle in Lake Ontario near Napanee. Ontario Provincial Police say officers attempted to stop a driver on Bath Road just before 11 o'clock Tuesday night. Police said the vehicle hit a ditch and ended up in the lake. The Special Investigations Unit is now probing what role police may have played leading to the fatal outcome. And a motorcyclist has died following an overnight crash west of Kingston. OPP say the bike crashed into a guardrail on Bath Road in the township of Bath at midnight. The 27-year-old driver from Brampton was pronounced dead at the scene. Ottawa police are warning people, especially seniors, to be vigilant as they anticipate a rise in so-called distraction thefts, including 2 victims targeted just hours apart in the city. CTV's Caitlin Wilson reports.
This video capturing the moment after Sangla says he was robbed. You can see him running, chasing after what appears to be a dark-colored BMW just before 2:30 Monday. He was taking out the garbage behind his restaurant on Somerset Street West when he says 2 men pulled up trying to hand him something.
It's like a gold chain, and then they offered it to him.
No.
He rejected it.
No.
He said no, and he walked this way.
His daughter, who's translating for him, says that's when things escalated. He says one of the men grabbed him, choked him before taking off with his necklace.
My mom's mom gave it to him, and he's been wearing it for 20 years.
20 years.
20 years, and he also attached his wedding ring. He is a bit shooken up, I would say, a bit traumatized.
3 hours later at the Billingsbridge Walmart, Marie Robert says she was targeted in a similar way.
There was a vehicle coming up from...
She says she was approached by 3 people in a vehicle. A woman asked for help, then tried to hand her a gold chain to say thanks.
A minute or 2 later, she reached out, pulled me by the back of my neck. When I pulled back, her finger got loose. My chain left my neck. She ripped it off my neck.
A present from her late husband. Police say they are seeing more of these so-called distraction thefts, but can't confirm if these cases are connected.
Good distance and be alert. Make eye contact with them. If they get too close, tell them to stay back. We do know that there are groups that move through the province. Are they all connected? I don't know that, but they are professionals.
For both victims, it's not just what was taken, it's what it meant. The jewelry, sentimental and worth thousands of dollars.
That was the last thing my ex-husband ever bought for me. I can't get that back.
We're grateful that, he is okay and healthy. These people need to be stopped.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
It appears employees in one federal department will not be required to spend more time in the office this summer. As of May 4th, executives will have to work on site 5 days a week, while all other federal employees will need to be in the office a minimum of 4 days a week. That's starting in July. But the Public Service Alliance of Canada tells CTV News that Global Affairs is delaying the return to office mandate for its employees. CTV News has reached out to Global Affairs for more information. The federal government is unveiling the next phase of its Build Canada Homes partnership with the city, which aims to create thousands of new homes in Ottawa, including deeply affordable ones built on public land. This is where 8 new housing projects will be built in the city, with more than 1,100 new rental homes. The city and the federal governments are fast-tracking these housing projects to get shovels into the ground in the next few months. It's part of the $400 million Build Canada Homes partnership to build non-market housing units, with plans for 2,000 units on surplus federal lands and financing for 1,000 affordable housing units from the city's affordable housing pipeline.
Now, beyond here in Nepean, we're building in Centertown, in Sandy Hill, at Overbrook, and Lincoln Heights. Homes across this city built by Canadians for Canadians.
This week, Ottawa City Council approved waiving development fees and building permit costs to help build the new housing units here in the capital. Well, if you're sitting on E, hopefully you had some time to fill up your tank tonight. Gas prices are set to jump over $1.70 a litre overnight. Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTagg says gas prices will increase by 6 cents a litre tomorrow and hover at about $1.75 a litre. The uncertainty in the Middle East continues to rattle oil markets. And amid soaring jet fuel prices, WestJet passengers will be paying more to bring luggage on board as the airline is hiking baggage fees. WestJet says it will cost an extra $10 for the first and second bag checked at the airport, and passengers with overweight or oversized luggage will pay $50 more. The CHEO Research Institute has opened a new unit to expand its capacity to conduct pediatric clinical trials.
We are able to have a lot more clinical trials for youth and children at home, right here.
It's just a wonderful, wonderful day here for Ottawa, for Canada broadly, to see this kind of space open up.
The Clinical Trial Access Corps and Clinical Investigation Unit provide infrastructure, expertise, and operational support to lead and host more clinical trials. This is the 6th core facility at the CHEO Research Institute dedicated to improving access to medical trials for families. Well, travelers have a new place to stay while visiting the city.
I think it's a game changer for our passengers and for flight crews who are steps away from the terminal. It's going to be especially great for passengers who are leaving on those really early morning flights.
The Alt Hotel at the Ottawa Airport officially opened its doors today. The 178-room hotel is connected to the airport terminal by a covered walkway.
This is a budget that is about protecting the Premier and his phone records, because guess what? We all know that this Premier has been up to something.
Well, after the break, the Ford government passed their spring budget, but not without scrutiny and criticism over some of its changes. Well, here's a look at some fans leaving the CTC after Game 3, losing actually tonight, 2-1. To the Hurricanes. Now, Carolina got the better of Ottawa tonight. Now, the Sens' backs are against the wall, down 3-1 in this series. Game 4 is set for Saturday again at 3 p.m. The CIBC Red Zone opens up 2 hours before puck drop. All right, we'll take another look at what's happening weather-wise. That was a look at the CIBC Red Zone outside the CTC earlier tonight. Great weather that they had. Let's see how things are shaping up for your extended forecast. We'll throw things over to Jackie Paris.
All right, another gorgeous day in the capital. Patio weather as well, and I know a lot of people were out and about for the Sens game, as well as other ways to get around and get that fresh air. This will carry on into the weekend and our Saturday as well. Looking into our overnight conditions, we are looking at temperatures going down to about -2, few clouds in sight, but tomorrow morning the daytime high will be about 13 degrees with sunny skies. Again, we've got some calm winds moving through. Tonight's lows really going to cool down though past the freezing mark. -3 in Ottawa, about 1 degree in Kingston, -2 in Brockville. Petawawa, parts of the valley sitting around -4, but tomorrow's daytime highs again double digits for all of eastern Ontario, about 14 degrees, and you could leave the umbrellas at home. Lots of sunshine in store. A closer look as we look towards the weekend. Saturday, again, not much in terms of cloud cover or precipitation. We are keeping a close eye on this weather system moving through Saturday morning. It shouldn't quite hit eastern Ontario. It should stay just west and south of Kingston, closer to the Peterborough area. But again, keeping a close eye on this. It won't be until the early start of next week that we could see precipitation moving through. So take advantage of the next several days. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, mainly sunny skies, about 13 to 15 degrees. Monday will be our warmest day, anticipated at 18 degrees. And again, it won't be until Wednesday that we could see a chance of rain moving through.
Well, there is a lot of scrutiny, but the Ford government passed their spring budget. The legislation has faced criticism over changes of freedom to information laws, which will allow the Premier and his cabinet to keep all their office records secret. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris reports.
Anger across the aisle as MPPs pass Ontario's 2026 budget. A budget with a tax cut for small business, a cap on ticket resale prices, and more money for home care. But tucked inside, a dramatic, retroactive change to freedom of information laws.
This is a budget that is about protecting the Premier and his phone records, because guess what? We all know that this Premier has been up to something.
The overhaul will keep phone records from the Premier, ministers, and their staff secret. It comes after a court ordered Doug Ford to turn them over. He insists
95% of all information will be able to FOI.
Is that the 5% that is related to the RCMP investigation of the $8.3 billion Greenbelt scandal? Is that 5% related to how the government's using the Skills Development Fund as their own personal piggy bank?
The finance minister argues this is about matching Ontario with other provinces and the federal government.
The Westminster model on cabinet confidentiality is critical.
He already knows that there's cabinet confidentiality. He's trying to pull one over on everybody.
The anger in question period didn't only come from the opposition benches.
Why does this Premier, who claims to be accountable, make it so very hard to hold?
Do you know why the members down here? Because CP24 didn't want her anymore, bottom line. Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts when you aren't wanted. There's a reason why you're here.
An outburst that some opposition leaders think demands an apology.
That is beneath the office of the Premier, an office that he's privileged to hold.
I think it's just another example that the Premier's out of control.
After question period and the vote, the interim Liberal leader told the Premier in the House he knew the right thing to do. Doug Ford's response, if you're willing to dish it out, you better be ready to take it. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Knowing a lot of that stuff about taxes and interest is very important. You're starting to actually have expenses and things you have to pay for.
Well, just ahead, what students and parents need to know about a new mandatory financial literacy test coming to Ontario high schools this fall. Rural residents with individual roadside mailboxes will continue to receive home mail delivery for the foreseeable future. Canada Post says rural addresses won't be affected by the plan to reduce home delivery. Last week, the Crown Corporation announced that 4 million homes will be shifted from door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes. Learning how to manage money will soon be a mandatory part of Ontario high school curriculum. Starting in the fall, students in grade 10 will have to pass a financial literacy test in order to graduate. And as CTV's Tyler Fleming tells us, it's something many parents and experts say is a long-awaited addition to the classroom.
For 17-year-old Noah Bertrand, money already matters.
You're starting to actually have expenses and things you have to pay for.
He works part-time and plans to study commerce and says learning the basics should be mandatory in high school.
The sort of transition between high school and the sort of real world, knowing a lot of that stuff about taxes and interest is very important.
Right now, learning about financial literacy is optional, but starting in September, students will need to pass a test in grade 10, scoring at least 70% to graduate.
I think it's a great idea.
The province says it's about balancing the books early, teaching teens how to budget, save, invest, and avoid scams. Parent Gaetan Purdy says it's long overdue.
When I was in high school, they did not teach that, so I think this program will help the kids help what we did our day-to-day lives financially.
The latest data from Statistics Canada shows younger Canadians carry nearly $1.70 owed for every dollar earned. Debts tied to school loans, credit cards, and car payments.
When you have knowledge about how your finances work, you can put guardrails in to say, okay, if things start going sideways, what do I do?
Money touches every part of life, and experts say learning discipline early is a skill young adults can take to the bank.
Then they'll be able to say no to a lot of these things because you're exposed to it 24/7 now with your phones, which is good for merchandisers, not so good for consumers. So you have to know how to say no. And I think that's a big thing, too, with the literacy, is knowing what your limitations are.
Yeah, I've got a bit of like money put away, RESPs and all that.
For Bertrand, the calculation is simple. Understanding money now can pay out down the road. Tyler Fleming, CTV News.
We did post them on December 16th, all 4 tickets, and they sold within minutes.
Well, just ahead, to avoid FIFA World Cup ticket scams, you're advised to use FIFA's ticket marketplace to buy and sell tickets. We'll have more details on that story next.
This is your United Way Minute.
In rural communities, the services are not as many. People feel more isolated. The Mood Walk program combines all the benefits of nature, physical activity,
mental health strategies and the social connection.
I moved here during COVID, and I was very isolated. It was like a big step for me to actually make new friends this late in life. At first, everybody was kind of all by themselves, and then by the end of the 4 weeks, we were all chatting back and forth and exchanging phone numbers and really getting to know one another.
The partnership with United Way allows us to offer a variety of programs for free.
Now, because of this, I've made connections. I've really made Hawkesbury my home.
Help those in our rural communities find mental health resources and community connections. Donate today at unitedwayeo.ca or call 613-228-6700.
You'll once again be able to ride your bike, rollerblade, walk, and run along the NCC parkways this summer. The National Capital Commission unveiled its weekend Bike Days lineup today. The Kitchi-Zibi-Maikan, the Sir Georges-Etienne Cartier Parkway, and Queen Elizabeth Driveway will be closed to vehicles on Saturdays and Sundays and holiday Mondays between May 9th and October 12th. Well, tickets for the FIFA World Cup games in Toronto start on June 12th. It's difficult to find seats for the 6 matches, and if you do, they're expensive. CTV's Pat Foran tells us officials say the best way to buy and sell tickets and avoid being scammed is to stick to the tournament's official online marketplace.
Vanessa Polakeni and her husband Paul Vella of Concord are huge soccer fans and were very excited about the chance to see a World Cup match. She entered a lottery and in October was able to buy 4 tickets.
Unfortunately, when we did purchase those tickets, Toronto was already sold out, so we went with Boston.
Polakeni bought the tickets for her husband and 2 friends for just over $1,700. They later discovered the match would be Haiti versus Scotland and made the decision to sell the tickets and use the funds to try and see a game in Toronto. To avoid scams, they used FIFA's official marketplace.
We did post them on December 16th, all 4 tickets, and they sold within minutes.
The tickets rose in price, and FIFA takes a 15% commission on ticket resales from the buyer and seller, but Polakeni was to receive just over $3,000. The website states it could take up to 60 days to receive your funds, but after 3 months and countless calls and emails, Polakeni says she has no idea when or if she'll get her money back.
I really don't know what is going on, and I'm just very disappointed. Now we have no tickets, and we have no refund.
CTV News also reached out to FIFA with calls and emails, but we did not get a response. However, fans in other countries have faced similar delays in getting refunds. Days after we contacted FIFA, Polakeni says the money appeared in her bank account. She's been refunded the $3,000 and says it's a relief. She hopes to use the money to help her husband see a World Cup game in Toronto for his birthday.
Thank you so much to CTV. Like I said, I'm really appreciative of a platform like this, and I hope he gets to go, and we'll be using that money definitely towards those tickets.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
All right, still to come, we'll have one more look at the forecast, and Spotify is out with its list of the most streamed artists of all time.
Pure Country 94. Ottawa's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky camera sitting at 8 degrees clear conditions out in Ottawa right now. Let's have a final check on the weather. We'll throw things over to Jackie Perez one more time for a look at your wake-up weather.
Well, a chilly start to our morning. Going to start off about -1, but the sun will carry us for most of our Friday, and a great way to kick off the weekend. Look at these temperatures. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 13 to 15 degrees. Even those overnight lows are going to be above the freezing mark. 4 degrees going into Sunday, 5 degrees going into Monday, which will be the nicest day for the next several days. 18 degrees, the anticipated daytime high.
Well, thank you, Jackie. As the music streaming giant Spotify marks its 20th anniversary, it's out with its list of the most streamed artists of all time. Taylor Swift claims the top spot, although she faced a growing challenge from second-place artist Bad Bunny. And as he prepares for the release of his new album Iceman next month, Drake was the third most streamed, followed by fellow Toronto superstar The Weeknd, who had the most streamed song ever on Spotify with Blinding Lights. Ariana Grande rolled out the top 5. All right, well, that's CTV News for this Thursday, April the 23rd. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team, keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app anytime. For all of us here at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. I'll see you again tomorrow night.